Hello and welcome to the Political Machine 2016. This is going to be kind of my first impressions, although I put a fair amount of time into the previous game, played this one for about an hour and a half. I know the time played in the bottom right says 0, and it doesn't seem to be working. It's just come out in early access, and it's looking alright. I've got some issues with it. It looks a little bit like the first game, but we're going to kind of jump into a game, and I'll show you what it's all about. We're going to play a quick game. It's going to be on easy difficulty. We're going to randomize, so let's not randomize anything. Let's leave it so that it's fairly obvious what's happening. So, you get into this screen here, and first thing you have to do is you have to select your candidate. Who are you going to be playing as? So it has people who I assume are American politicians. I mean, some of them are. You can also create your own if you want to create someone, I don't know. Is there a randomize button? Nope. So we could create somebody, but we're not going to because it would take some time. We're going to play as, let's play as Donald Trump with his very angry bobbing head. And against us, let's have Hillary Clinton. There you go. Let's see, and then you jump into the game itself. So, what is this game all about? Well, you have to win an election. How do you do that? Well, yes, thank you. Each state has its awareness. So you'll see down here we have an awareness thing where it tells you about how many voters know about you and how many know about your opponent. So let's say in New York, 20% know about me, Donald Trump, and 20% know about my opponent, Hillary. And basically, this is like, of the 20% who know about us, these are how they're voting. Or at least that's how I understand it works out. So you increase your awareness, more people will vote for you. You want to increase your awareness and of course then make them actually vote. So awareness makes them vote, I think. Makes them be able to vote for you, and then it works on a like which one they actually vote for. Then you have to use issues, which are kind of its way of pushing up this value here. So this tells you who's currently winning in a state. So say in New York, we wanted to get our value up. So what we do is we could do something like we could create an ad, which could work in the state or across the entirety of the United States. We could give a speech, but fundraising does not increase your opinion, or we could build a type of HQ. We're going to give a speech. So let's find a speech that works quite well. So each speech has a different effect. So like lower your opinion with some people and raise your opinion with others. So it might even be a good idea in a state that has a really high number of Democrats to raise your Democratic appeal and lower your Republican appeal in that state, just for your chance to get a chance to win the state over. So basically, you could just lie, but then your opponent come along and say, "No, my opponent opposes these things," and then they might swing back in the opponent's way, or they could say they favor, and then they'd vote for the opponent anyway. So we're going to choose one that most people like. So reducing unemployment. So I favor reducing unemployment. There we go. It actually changed our position by 0 this time. Presumably because although everybody liked it, everybody kind of already knew about it, so then didn't actually vote. What else can we do? Well, we can build HQs. We've actually only got one we can build here. We could upgrade our campaign headquarters, which gives us more money each month and raises our awareness in the state that it's in. It also shows us 15 issues on that speech thing instead of the usual instead of the 10 it shows. This is because this would be a level 2 building. Level 1 building allows you to see 10, by default you can see 5. And basically each level up increases your awareness. We could also say we wanted to go to, let's go to Texas, for instance. And then we can look at build HQ here. We've got a couple of different ones we can build. We can build consulting offices, which show you about random events. I believe it's just in the state. It shows you whether they're positive or negative, which is pretty useful. It allows you to work out whether it's good to have an event, to go to an event or not. It also gives you political capital, which we'll get to in just a second. There's also an outreach center, which gives you PR clout, which is very, very similar to political capital and how it works. And it, raises your awareness in the states. So, PR, political capital, and PR clout. I think it's called. PR clout. It says community outreach here, which is weird. I guess that's just a thing from early access. So, political clout will allow you to get one of these endorsements. If you get an endorsement for your that generally trends towards your what's it called, party, like your party line. It costs a little bit less, or you can spend more and get one that's like from the opponent's party. And the idea is you get these and they give you pluses with people who want these things. So say we got this one, minus for outsourcing jobs, plus 10 for state unions. So basically, if you're for outsourcing jobs and you go around places saying that, anyone who likes outsourcing jobs will hate you. If you want to be for state unions, on the other hand, everyone who likes state unions, they like you. So it's kind of an interesting thing. You also have to remember what you've said in other places at that point, because you have to get a coherent message across. And if we look at special interest, it's got political capital, which is what we can do here. And these are lots of small little things that can actually have quite a large difference. So we have speechwriter. It makes your speeches more efficient and gives you charisma. There's also another type of one here, which is smear merchant. So like this one is directly used on your opponent. Like if there's a state where both you and your opponent have been fighting, but your opponent's issue rating is higher, what you can do is you can just dump the smear merchant on it, instantly lowers it by 15%, and you win the state. What we're going to do is, for the end of our turn, we're going to build a either a consulting office or a outreach center. I think we'll go for a consulting office. And then we've got 1 stamina, and just visiting a state will actually increase your awareness there. It's like you're a candidate who's gone to visit a state in real life. So let's just go next door. There we go. You see, they like us a little bit more. Don't really know anything about it, it didn't do too much, but they like us. So we'll end our turn. And then our opponent goes and does much the same thing. It's kind of a nice little board game thing. There are a couple different map modes we could do, which are interesting themselves. So you got awareness, shows you how aware people are of you. Electoral votes is very important because that shows you where you can actually get the most benefit. What state wealth increases your ability to fundraise, which we'll get to. Oh, I'm so happy the music came back. And strategic planning means that you can kind of do your own plan of where you want. Like you can say, I want this state, this state, this state, this state, and then it'll tell you whether you'll win or not. Right. So let's move on. Let's try doing some fundraising. So we'll come here. We've already got a lot of funds, but just to show how it works. So it kind of gives you this kind of screen. You just click raise funds and it gives you an amount based upon these stats. That's about it. It's just a random amount. It's not always the same. I believe if you keep doing it, it'll then cost you, it'll give you less and less money. We're going to upgrade our HQ to the next level. So we get 3 political capital per week. Then we're going to create an ad. And we're going to create a television ad. And basically this will increase your position in all states, I believe. And it also increases national awareness and, changes your position each week you have it up. So let's say big government. Nobody likes big government, apparently. We're going to say we oppose... Oh, wait. Ah, okay, so this is slightly different. So if we say we favor it, nobody like it. But if I say oppose it, then Republicans and Independents will like it, but Democrats won't care. So we want to find something where we can be kind of in the middle. So reducing unemployment. I favor reducing unemployment. Everyone else does. So we'll create this ad. And then all across, we'll get this little extra boost of awareness. And around everywhere, everyone will be like, oh, so he likes reducing unemployment. We're also... Oh, I would like to go over there to that random event, but I missed seeing it. It's something that's quite difficult. I don't always notice these. They could be a little bit more obvious. But yes, we're going to head over to this random event that Hillary is hiding. That's hiding behind Hillary. We'll show what that's about. Or did she get it? Ah, that's a slight change, I think. I think random events used to be just for one person, unless I'm misremembering. Anyway, so random event will give us stuff. We'll look at it later. Anyway, in this state, we could give a speech, or we can build an HQ. We have a lot of money, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build an HQ. We're going to build a campaign headquarters, and my plan here is we're just going to kind of jump around building lots of campaign headquarters, which will increase our awareness in each of the states, and will also give us a little bit of more money, which will keep the money coming in. We have 5 political capital, so what am I going to hire? I'm going to hire a PR consultant to make interviews better for us. We haven't had an interview yet, but it will come up hopefully soon. Ah, there we go. Interviews. Told you. Oh, what did they get? They got a scandal monger. Lowers your integrity by half in target state. So this would lower our integrity in that state, which I guess means that our statements would be half as effective. Well, it doesn't say half. Does it say half? Oh, it does say half, so they would be half as effective. So let's go over and show you what the interviews are like. And we're in the O'Malley scenario. So we'll say yes to the interview. Get this kind of screen. Tonight on the O'Malley scenario, the far left once again has struck another blow to patriotism. Hopefully tonight's guest will set them straight. Good evening, I'm Bill O'Malley. Stay tuned. So I assume it gives you this kind of question, like the president has sold us out to Iran, nuclear deal lifts sanctions against them so long as they promise to stop making nukes. Ridiculous, what do you think? And then you have to reply based upon this show that you're on. So, what we're going to do. So, sold us to Iran, nuclear deal lifts sanctions so long as they promised, so it's ridiculous. So we have to say it's a bad deal. And that should, in theory, give us a positive opinion on the show. See? Yeah, positive opinion. But the things that you say on the shows will actually affect everywhere else. So we're saying that we say this on the Iran situation, and this is now a thing that's marked against us. So around the country, everyone's like, alright, he's got this opinion on the Iran situation. Anyway, let's go on to move this one. Government wastes billions of dollars. That's why I hate seeing governments being put in charge of anything that isn't necessary. Just so wasteful and corrupt. What's your opinion on it? Well, we'll say big government is inefficient. Everyone likes us. Perfect. We're done. But yeah, that's our opinion across. We impressed, obviously. We are in easy mode. And then everyone around will now have a little bit of awareness of us. Not a lot, but there's a little bit of awareness everywhere. Let's see. I'd quite like to win California as a state, but I don't think we're going to get it because it's pretty democratic in this. So let's head just to the next state along. And we will... I think we'll build another HQ. We'll just keep building campaign headquarters everywhere. Just increase our awareness around the country. Make sure everyone knows about us. We're going to get another political capital person next turn. And that'll work out well. Ooh, there's a random event that we can get. Right, she's almost done. We can actually move during her turn if we wanted to. No, it doesn't really matter. So we've got a storyteller telling great stories about the candidate Donald Trump. A storyteller has joined the political landscape, doubling Donald Trump's charisma rating in whichever state the storyteller is in. Okay, so what we might want to do is we might want to send this person, we can send them around to a state where we've got a little bit of a closer state. Trying to find one that... There, how about Maryland? I have no idea if this is a good idea. We will send... Is that on Maryland? Yeah, okay. I guess it just moved it out so you can see. So that increased our charisma there. So we can now head over here. What we might want to do is we might want to build an HQ that shows us... yeah, this one. It shows us the top 10 issues. Then we can give a speech on one of these issues. Let's say... Deficit reduction. Well, maybe we'll choose a different one. So what we want to do is we want to try and get some Democrats on our side and get some independents. So if we did Iranian nuclear deal, we could... Well, actually, that's one that we did in the interview. So we don't want to say we favor it because they won't believe us. I think that's how it works. So hashtag Black Lives Matter. We will give a speech on that. It didn't actually change our rating at all, but it could have. And that's the important thing. I think it actually neutralized the state. So a couple of the Democrats are no longer voting for Hillary, even though they're not actually voting for us. I think that's the point. Right. What we're also going to do is we're going to get a smear merchant. And we are going to leave them... wait, are they already on the state? It's hard to... Yes, they are on the state. It's hard to tell because we're also sitting directly on top of them with a giant head. But that will eventually make it harder for her to do stuff in the state. Gonna end the turn here. It gives you this weekly news wrap-up every now and then. Just shows you what's been happening. More useful in multiplayer where you're not entirely sure. And Clinton takes an early lead in the race. Well, that's because she started higher. Okay, so Maryland, after that 1 week, now we're very close. We can actually almost take it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade our HQ to the next level. And then I am going to give a speech. We got a couple of new options here. Is there a way, is there one of these like we can oppose something that's all negative? So if this is all negatives, we could say our opponent opposes it, and that will lower their opinion, if I've got this right. So I actually lowered our opinion. I think that might be a bug. I think it's meant to lower their opinion, but it just lowered our opinion. Oh, there's another interview. We'll head over there and have a look at it. Would you like to appear on 60 Seconds? Sure. Yes. We'll skip some of this extra stuff. American farmers continue to have a hard time making ends meet. Do you feel that farm subsidies are a viable solution to their plight? So he's saying American farmers continue to have a hard time making ends meet, which means that we should probably say that we support farm subsidies. That would seem like a good idea. Oh no, they didn't like that. What's your view on public sector unions? That's a bit. Let's go for... Yeah. I'd work tirelessly against unions. There you go. It didn't go too badly. Probably because we're on easy mode. We win some independent voters over. So what you could do is you can actually, I think, have a look at how things go with people. So here are the issues in order of importance. So a strong military is quite important, and Republicans are on, like, we've got the kind of lead on that. But a few other ones that Hillary's got lead on. So maybe we want to push one that's a little bit close, but we both agree. So reducing unemployment. If we push that we're for it, that would lower some of Hillary's stuff. So let's go for that. Reducing unemployment. We actually don't have enough to do anything right now. We'll get a speeches become more efficient guy. And then we'll use our stamina to go to a different state. Let's head to Montana. And then we can talk about reducing unemployment now. End our turn. We can actually just have a quick look at the speech straight away. So reducing unemployment is not an option. So what we want to do is we want to go campaign headquarters. Have a look. Reducing unemployment is now an option. We can say we favor it. We get a little improvement on that state. And what we probably want to do after hiring a fashion consultant to make our ads more effective. Oh, Hillary Clinton has won the endorsement of the Environmentalist Club. Okay, so she's working very much in the community outreach one, trying to get a lot of those votes. But what we're going to do is we're going to slowly win by just doing speeches and things. So, let's have a look at the speech. Actually, we're going to make an ad this time. Make a TV ad to say that we like reducing unemployment across the board. There we go. And that should, in theory, put us up in the polls. Maybe it won't do it straight away, but it should, in theory, eventually do that. Let's head somewhere else. Let's head to Florida. And what we're going to do in Florida is we're going to start making some outreach centers to increase our PR clout. So let's make one right now. PR center. And then we're going to head to California because that's where you get the most money from fundraising. And we'll fundraise next turn. So we can get more money to go and do more of this stuff. And not really much else we can do this turn, so we'll just end our turn. Fundraising. We will try and raise some funds. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then we'll build an outreach. And then we'll move over one. We'll build an outreach center. And we could also create a small ad while we're here. Let's make a television ad. What's an important thing that we could do? A strong military. Well, that's something that we've already got a lot of movement on. If we just say we favor it in a TV ad, that should push it up a little bit further. So we'll try that. We also have a political capital guy we can do. Decreases your advertising maintenance costs in target state. Could be useful. We can also eliminate opponent fixers. So if we eliminated the scandal monger over there, that means that our integrity would no longer be halved in that state. So we'll hire our fixer. We'll just send him off to deal with the scandal monger. That'll get rid of him. Clinton loses key supporter. And then we'll end our turn. Candidates, choose your running mate. So this is about halfway through. It does this thing where you now have to choose someone to run with you. And what you would do is you pick someone based on your characteristics and what you want from them. So they'd kind of fill in your remaining things. So you could have someone... If you have, say, no experience, but someone else has a lot of experience, I believe Trump starts with a low experience. You pick someone who has say, Rand Paul here, who has 7 experience, and he would kind of fill in a little bit. And then you can use him to set. You can send him around places, and he can raise awareness for you. So we'll take Rand Paul here. He can stay in Kentucky to start with because we don't have any awareness there. And we will just, I think can we upgrade our HQ? Yeah, we'll just upgrade our HQ a couple times here. Just to get a lot of PR clout per week. Then we can probably just head around a few states. We'll just head here, here, and then over to Kentucky. And then we'll move our storyteller over there as well. And we'll do a speech there next time. Okay, so anything else we can do? We can do some PR stuff. Let's get a spin doctor, and we'll leave them in that state, and then we can really do a lot with it next turn. So, weekly roundup, yes. Candidate Trump still trailing in the polls. Yeah, a little bit, but we can work it back. So we've got a lot of red states. Eventually, states will just change their color directly to a block color, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're held. That just means that you have enough an advantage that they're almost definitely going to vote for you, unless there's a lot of effort put in on the other side. So, what do we want to talk about in Kentucky? Well, in Kentucky, we've got some details that we can look at here. Republicans are really into deficit reduction in Kentucky. Like, really into it. I think that would be a good one for us to do. And a strong military. But that would lower... Your opponent opposes that. So this would kind of isolate the Democrat votes in this state already, but what we could do is we can just ignore that. What was it? We want to go for a strong military, I think. Yes. So a strong military. I favor it. Doesn't really change our ratings at all, but does kind of hold it still. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move our storyteller over here. I'm going to move our running mate over to this province, just because we want to go red. And we're then going to head to the interview. Would you like to appear on the O'Malley scenario? Sure, that went well last time. These Black Lives Matter's nuts are really grind my goat. They think everyone deserves special treatment. Everyone's lives matter. Yes, we should just agree with them. Yes, it went down very well. What do you think of gay people being in the military? Do you think it causes a distraction? Do you think it leads to a breakdown in discipline? We'll just agree with them. Yay, we did well in the interview. Yes, polls rise after appearance in the interview. Perfect. And then we'll just hop over one. We'll keep our storyteller with us. And we got the community outreach thing. So we could choose one of these. What do we want? Any of these that we've seen before. Reducing unemployment. See, that's good. We get plus 10 for reducing unemployment. We'll get the US Chamber of Business. And then probably just gonna fundraise in the state just to kind of end our turn. And then we'll just end it. Hillary will move around a little bit more. We've actually got us up to even in the polls, which is quite nice. We've got 9 weeks to go. There's a random event that we can go and catch over here. Definer decreases opponent's personal ratings in target state by 5. Okay, so we'll send them to Maryland. National Association for Women are now on Hillary's side. You need endorsements. Yeah, don't show this again. Thank you. We already know. We're building some outreach centers around the place. Which we will upgrade. And then we actually have a lot of clout already. And we will get... that's probably good. Yeah, fighting ISIS. That seems reasonable. And then we'll just end our turn. We're going up in the polls. Hillary is jumping around. And what we're going to do here, probably just continue upgrading this. We're not actually able to upgrade it. We don't have enough money. We need 1 million. So we're going to head over to California. We're going to fundraise a couple times. Then we're going to head back and we're going to raise that 1 million. So, fundraise, fundraise, fundraise again. Do we have anything else we can do? We could get another one. Christian Confederation, probably fine. And then we will get some political clout for... let's get an Intimidator. And just send the Intimidator over to Maryland. Just to really try and reduce the opinion there. Although this doesn't appear to be working very much. So what we could do is we can send them to kind of a... So let's send them to all of these guys to Florida. Instead. There we go. We'll send them all to Florida. And that pushes Florida almost definitely into our kind of hand. Although California is pretty... looks like it might switch. So what we could do is we can send all of these guys over to California. And that might be... we might be able to switch it over to a little bit closer to Republican. Maybe we'll do that next turn. We'll try and switch it over. Some states nearby are very much switching over. We're doing quite well. Let's see what we're going to do here. Do we already have a HQ? We don't. So we should build a campaign headquarters at very least. Allows us to look at some of these things here. What's everyone into here? Green jobs. They can, if we say we like it, that'll go down well, and that'll generally make everything good. So we'll give a speech saying that we like green jobs. We're in favor. Our opinion might go up at some point. Yeah, see, there it is. I think the number it pops up might also be wrong sometimes, because it definitely went up, but it didn't. It didn't show it going up. And none of those. We can get another one of these guys. Let's get another Intimidator, and we'll just keep them in the same state. Next turn. This switched directly into Californian things after she did what I assume was a speech. Because a lot of people here are very democratic. That's kind of just how it worked. I suppose support the Democrats would be a better way of phrasing that. Right, we'll just move our PR team all over here. And we'll just kind of move with them. And then we'll try and make Minnesota on our side. We'll build a quick HQ. And then we'll give them a speech. What do they like? They quite like... what do they like that we're not really involved in? Well, they really, really like a strong military, but we've already pushed that with them. How about repeal Obamacare? They're quite in favor of that. We'll do that. So we'll give them a speech saying, we will repeal Obamacare. Nah, we don't get too much out of it, but it was worth a try. What are we going to do here? Big government or tax cuts? Which one do you think? Which one's better? Big government is a big thing for us, apparently. So again, that would be fine. And tax cuts is it's reasonable. What was the other one? There was big government, tax cuts, and gun rights. Is gun rights in the polls? Gun rights is not in the polls. So what we should do is we should definitely grab the Tea Party movement. Although we could wait a month and try and grab one of these ones, like we get repeal Obamacare or... yeah, let's try and get that. Let's try and get the repeal Obamacare in a month. There we go. Trump brings his public rating back from the depths. Good. Good. Rand Paul seems to have done his work here. What we're going to do is we're going to head over to a random event. We're going to send... Moneyman raises your fundraising potential in target state by 15%. Ooh, we can send him to Texas. We can head to Texas. Rand Paul will head up to this state up here. We'll do a quick fundraising in Texas. We didn't get that much, but we've got enough to keep us going till the end. We will grab the National Organization for the Support of Colored People. Perfect. And then we will give a speech. What do they like here in Texas? Everybody likes reducing unemployment. They're really into reducing unemployment. We will give them what they want. Doesn't really do much. It really just solidifies the state. We will end our turn. We're not looking too hot on winning this election here. Where are we going to head now? We'll head Rand Paul down here. We'll head up one. And then we'll just do a quick speech here. What do they like? They quite like strong military, which we've already got quite a lot on. What about this? We could say that we like this thing here. Hashtag Black Lives Matters. And that would mean that a lot of people would like us. So we'll give a speech. We'll just say, I favor it. We got 1% in Missouri. Perfect. Then we'll head down to Florida. And what can we do in Florida? What do they quite like in Florida that we haven't said anything on? Social Security. We'll create an ad saying that... we'll create a TV ad saying that we favor Social Security. The reason why you might not want to create a TV ad is like an ad that goes everywhere. Is because some states might not like that, and if you say that you like it, then it's not going to go down too well. We'll increase our issues rating in this state, and we will hire an advertisement guru so that things will be cheaper. And we can't really do any... Oh, we got some endorsements actually. We'll grab the tax cuts guy. The Tea Party movement. There we go. And then we will end our turn. We have just edged ahead in the polls. It looks like... Is that the last one that Hillary got? No, there's one last one. The guns. What we're going to do now, we're going to head to a different state that's a little bit... How about North Carolina? We'll head over to North Carolina. We'll bring along our group. Just our group of people. All of our smear campaign. And then what we'll do is we will see what do they like here. That we don't have an opinion on. They quite like student loan reform. So we'll give a speech saying that we are in favor of student loan reform. Didn't really do very much. And we'll create a small ad saying the same, saying our opponent opposes it. How about that? That'll work. And then we can, can't really do very much else this time. We'll just head to the next state, into Tennessee. Just show our face. We'll bring over our running mate. Just to really try and set it going. And then we will end our turn. Okay. Well, we got some bonuses there. Don't know what happened. Oh, well, maybe that was Hillary got some bonuses there. People in Tennessee seem to be happy that we just turned up and remembered that they exist. But New Hampshire. We'll head over there next. Head over to New Hampshire with our two groups. And what do they like here? Well, we could build an HQ. That'll show us what they actually like. What don't we have an opinion on that they care about? They quite care about deficit reduction, which we've kind of made an opinion on. We try and change our stance on gay marriage, try and get some more of these Democrats involved. Yeah, let's go for a deficit reduction. We'll try and push that a little bit more. So we're into deficit reduction. I favor deficit reduction. We got 1% in this. That's not too bad. Then special interest, we'll grab the last special interest group. And then a political clout. We can't afford anyone, so we will just end our turn. We're not doing too badly. We're about even. Let's send Rand Paul over there. Ooh, we lost 11% in that state. Head over to Maine. What do people in Maine like? They quite like securing the borders. So we favor securing the borders. Doesn't really do very much right now, but might. And then we'll head over to Vermont just to show our face. What do they like in Vermont? They quite like... let's try and lower our stance on the Iranian nuclear deal. Or we could double down, or we can go for deficit reduction. Let's go for deficit reduction. We'll create a TV ad saying that we're in favor of deficit reduction. And then we will get a smear merchant, maybe? Maybe just consultant. There we go. That'll work. And then end our turn. Let's get very, very close. Comes down to the wire. Last month. So when a state goes purple like this, it means it's undecided. It means that it could go either way. It's not 100% certain what's going to happen there. Some of these states, the numbers don't seem entirely right. I think a lot of the states just need you to turn up and they'll be fine. We don't have the funds to go anywhere else, so we'll give a speech. We're really into deficit reduction. We'll give that speech. Special interest, we'll hire one last smear merchant. And then we will, for a mini amount of money, just create a small... We don't have enough money. As we'll just end our turn. And then we can see who won. So yeah, I really like this game. It has a lot of different elements and depths. It's a little bit unpolished right now would be the best word. A lot of the UI could do with a lot of upgrading. I'm worried they're not going to really do very much with it because the upgrading, like, this is very much the same as the previous game. If you were to pick up the previous game, the only thing you'd be disappointed in, if you're disappointed in anything, would be that all of the candidates are effectively non-existent. Woohoo, we won the election. So yeah, that was pretty good. Won by Hang Chad apparently, according to the achievement. No idea what that means. We managed to win in the electoral college, despite lack of support from most voters. Okay. I'm going to show the exit polls, if you care about that. It's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of stats. But yeah, I'm really into this game, and I think it's going to be pretty good if they polish it. So if you're interested in it, I think it was £6.99 on Steam. And yes, I recommend you pick it up if you're interested. I believe the previous one will go, has gone on sale and goes on sale for really cheap. So if you're really not sure about it, it would probably be good to wait until there's a Steam sale coming up, and that would be a great point to pick up the previous one, see if you like it, see if you want to be invested in this one. But I thought I would show it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.